Today I asked the question on my Google Plus blog if the new Ultrabooks will be a hype or a success. Personally, I think the Ultrabooks need to be a lot cheaper than the MacBook Air because no one will buy a Ultrabook if it costs the same as a MacBook Air or even more expensive. So they need to be a lot cheaper to succeed. That is my personal opinion. But I got quite few comments about it on my post, and Christopher Franco says that they seem to be exactly like the predecessors. What were they called? Yeah, netbooks. And he never really understood that concept. And I can agree to a sense that the concept is like the netbooks, but netbooks was a lot more cheaper, so Ultrabooks is quite expensive for a laptop. Robert Vartanov says that he bought a MacBook Air in July, a 13-inch, and says that it's worth the money, and I absolutely can agree with that. I bought a MacBook Air 11-inch in about the same time, in July, August, and I'm really satisfied with it. It's the best gadget I have ever bought. So I think if you need to buy a small, thin, light and good looking laptop, buy a MacBook Air. It's a lot better. Ben Lloyd says that he agree. If you should pay the same money as for a MacBook Air, then why not buy the MacBook Air? So, totally agree with him. John Berger says that he is not interested in buying something that's going to look and feel like it will snap in two if I breathe on it. I'm not saying that I like big bulky laptops, but I have a real fear of the lack of durability when it comes to Ultrabooks, he says. My MacBook Air 11-inch is very small, very thin, but it's the most durable laptop I have ever bought. It is very robust and well built. Very well built. It's the best quality laptop I ever bought. So when it comes to MacBook Air, that's not true. But if Ultrabooks have the same quality, I don't know. But some of them looks like it though. I don't think they will go in two pieces though. But I can understand his comment. Marcus Boström says that he thinks they will succeed because many people and companies still demand Windows on laptops. So that's why they will buy the Ultrabook instead of MacBook Air. Yes, I can agree to a sense. Companies and such still needs Windows, but I don't think they will buy Ultrabooks. They will buy ordinary laptops and desktop computers, not an Ultrabook. Never an Ultrabook. Richard Asia says that laptop activities is mainly in a browser nowadays, and as a result Ultrabooks are easier to turn into a reality. And that's a great comment. That's exactly what I think too. More and more of all things we do in a browser. So the operative system like OS X or Windows is not so important anymore. We do the same things on all the different operative systems. So I can understand that. That Ultrabooks can succeed because people don't care about operating system. But you need a good user experience too. So why buy an Ultrabooks when you can buy a MacBook Air for the same price and get an incredible user experience in OS X Lion. So still, I don't think people will buy an Ultrabook if the price is the same as a MacBook Air. Shane Condor says that I don't see any relation to netbooks. They cost 3 to 4 times more than Ultrabooks cost 3 to 4 times more than netbooks, so there is no relation between that. He can't see what Ultrabooks are so special, more than they are thin and light. They don't use netbook chips. They use regular laptops, but thinner and smaller and cost more. Yes, I agree, and with that we get more quality too. So with the money we get better quality. We pay for quality. That's why I bought a MacBook Air, for example. I gladly pay that money to have that quality I get with a MacBook Air. But Ultrabooks cost more, and probably we get more quality for that money, hopefully. But I agree with that they have no relation to netbooks when it comes to the price. Lars Fosdal says that he needs laptops to have a docking station that can accommodate a large number of USB devices, external monitors, attached keyboards and mouse, without having to fiddle with a heap of cables. So he needs a laptop with a docking station. Then I don't think you need to buy then you should not buy an Ultrabook or a MacBook Air, because that's the wrong product for you. So then you need an ordinary laptop, probably a Windows laptop with a good docking station. I have one at work, and it works, but it's a Windows machine, so I'm not so happy with it. But the docking station is great. I don't think that Ultrabooks and MacBook Air is the right product if you need those things. Christopher Franco says that the idea of netbooks is the same, not the cost. And, well, that's true. Tim Bock says that he sees no reason products have to be cheaper than Apple products to succeed. And that comment I often get from people that don't like Apple or have never used an Apple product. If you will be using a MacBook Air someday, you understand why. That's the answer I have. There is no reason to buy a Windows Ultrabook for the same money as you can buy a MacBook Air, because the MacBook Air you get a lot better user experience, a lot better functionality. So it's hard to explain, but you have to use a MacBook Air, because if not, you can't understand what I'm talking about. So I have no good answer for that. Tom Toll says that he thinks his MacBook Air is amazing too. He is very happy with it, and I am too. Richard Asia says that he has a MacBook Air and he needs to be convinced to go for an alternative, and I don't think an Ultrabook is an alternative if you already have a MacBook Air. The MacBook Air will be a lot greater than any Ultrabook. So if you would buy an Ultrabook, then you probably not have a MacBook Air, and maybe not even have any Apple product, and probably don't like Apple. Then you can buy an Ultrabook. So, well, I don't need to be convinced because I like my MacBook Air. So this was some of the comments that I had get on this post. You can still add your comment to the thread. It's up on my Google Plus blog. I will link to the post in the YouTube description on this video. I like if you could go there and continue to discuss this. If an Ultrabook is a hype or if it will succeed. On the Consumer Electronics Show this week we will probably see a lot of Ultrabooks, so we will see what happens with them. So it will be interesting to see info and such about the Ultrabooks. But okay, that's it for this time. Bye.